Hello, hello everyone. How are you today? So we are back for another Tuesday talk, and today's topic is young people creativity is their gateway. Thank you for joining. I'm Patience. I'm the coach behind Authentic Mindset, as you know already. And today I'm going to talk about that. So let's start with the Oxford definition of creativity. So, creativity is the use of skill and imagination to produce something new or to produce art. Um, I don't know what you think about that. I think it's not necessarily to produce art, but actually to produce something, to produce a service, to produce a product, to produce something that brings people joy and happiness and that supports their well-being. Also, I will have added this as well. Creativity for me, it feels like it's not the same as what it used to be. It's not the same as actually making art or making a piece of art. It could be anything, ranging from the way you dress, the way you walk, the way you present yourself, the way you actually live as well. The way you live as well can be creative. The way you show yourself in this world, what you create, the books that you write, it could be anything, the way you express yourself. Creativity is not necessarily an art, but it's the use, I would be more on the fact that it's the use of the your imagination and the way it nourishes you. I mean, that would be my definition. But I'm not Oxford, so I can't say, But anyway, let me stop the joking aside. So, how does creativity actually helps young people? And what do I mean by gateway? I mean that creativity gives them a sense of value, a sense of identity, and that sense of identity is therefore their gateway. So when we talk about young people, we automatically think of, what comes often is what we see in the media, but actually, that's not everything that there is on young people. Like, young people have so many good skills, so many things that comes in their mind that is like just mind blowing. And I think that if we can push as carers, as mentors, as coaches, as parents, if we can push that creativity, we actually are helping young people to become the better version of themselves, that version of themselves that is not scared, that is actually knows what they want, and that knows how to go and get it, and in which way. It could be it shows a different way of innovation, of how they are coming into the world, what they are bringing to society, and what in return society will bring for them as they show, as they give, and as they share their creativity. So this is why I say that young people's creativity is their gateway. So now let me give you a little bit of those effects. So creativity can support developing expertise. It develops imaginative thinking skills. It gives you an adventurous personality. So yes, there's a bit of an element of risk there. But can you imagine doing anything without a risk? Like, there is always a percentage of risk. So let's maybe support young people to have the positive risk, to do the positive risk, and to actually show themselves as they are and in all their beauty. So they tend to have like a natural push. So when you have creativity, when young people develop creativity even more, they have this incentive, like they want to go for it. They have this impulse to create. They have this impulse to show the world what they can do, to show people what they can do, to show up as that version of themselves that they see. It enables empathy. Enabling empathy in which sense? In the sense that it connects them to themselves. By being more connected to themselves, what happens? They develop that kind of like understanding, mindful understanding of their feelings, their emotions, and the emotions of people that are around them, and how they can survive in the community in that sense, how they can understand better how people are living and understand the difference between how they're living and how, with their own experiences, with their own understanding, how they can support themselves but also the community and the society. It enables them different ways, like I was just saying, different ways of thinking. It engages the mind, like you can see me already, like I'm in this moment of creativity where my mind is engaged, and I'm like yes. You see the energy, you see the drive come out. It's exactly what happens. So it's only good thing. It's only positive. I mean, it's only good things. Sure, there's a percentage of time where innovation or creativity is actually not good for the humanity, but in general, it's just like such a positive and such a I would say an embracing feeling of belonging that actually brings out, that creativity brings out of young people. What else? There's so much more. Like I was saying, it keeps the mind active, but also it helps develop like different ways of learning style. So obviously, everyone goes to school, and one teacher might teach one way, another teacher might teach another way. But can you imagine developing your own way of understanding one thing and actually applying that in that way? It's amazing. When you are in a group, when young people are in a group and they are actually like working on a project, can you see the different ideas that are coming from different people? It gives them a voice. Creativity gives young people a voice, and this is why it is really important. It's so important to bring this creativity alive. It helps with their career. It will help with their education. It will help with their own self-love, self-care, and their own mental well-being. You see, when you are creative, you are not just creative, like I was saying in the beginning, into what you are in art, but you're also creative in so many ways, like the way people dresses. Some people dress in a way that you can see all the creativity that is that they are. You can see everything that they are bringing out into this world. That's a way of being creative. People who are singers, like singers, they use creativity in a way that is inimaginable. Like they have like an idea. Can you imagine going from like a note or going from like a word and then coming up with a song that actually will be heard by so many people in the world? It's just amazing. Like creativity has got that kind of impact. Creativity has got the impact that actually pushes people to become a better version of themselves in any ways. And it also helps them like find a gateway, a place to, as a refuge. So for young people who suffer mental health, with mental health issues, or for young people who feel like they don't have that much confidence, creativity is where they can actually show up as themselves, show everything that they are, show everything that they have inside, and show it outside. And the better, the more it is outside, the more it is shared, the more it is found like being the same for other people and bringing that same togetherness, this element of togetherness, the more it helps. the more it helps, because you are less isolated, because other people can say, well, hold on, I feel the same way, I've gone through this, I've seen this happen to so, and you have this element of like, oh, I am not alone here, and actually people understand me. I think it's amazing. Like, creativity is just amazing. Now you need to understand one thing. So when young people use their creativity in the best way possible, what happens? Sorry. What happens? They become more energetic. Energetic as in the physical way, but also in the way of the mind. So they're kind of like, they have this drive, like exactly what I was talking about a few minutes earlier. They have this drive. And this drive is a physical drive, but it's also like a mental drive. A mental drive to achieve that, those things that is there, that is bubbling up in their imagination. It brings them more intelligence. It brings out more the intelligence, because the more you use in the mind, the more you are actually looking for ways of creating something, of bringing to the world something that has been either taught already but in another way, and that you are innovating, or whether it's something that has never been done and you are the first one doing it. Like, it brings out this kind of like, can I say hope? Yeah, I can. I think I can. But I will allow myself to say hope. It brings this hope, I think, with young people, and that it can only help them. Another thing, if you are looking, if you are thinking that maybe a young person is not disciplined, or they kind of not going through projects or things like that, developing more creativity, doing more creative things in their lives is going to develop their discipline. Because what do people think really? Oh, creativity, you must not think, you must have just come to your head like that. No, it doesn't. I feel that creativity is where you actually have to use your mind even more. You have to look at different ways. You have to imagine this thing that is in your head being alive, being out there. So you are more disciplined. You put yourself in a way, you portray yourself in a way that you know that if you do such and such task in such and such way, you will come to the outcome you are looking for. So you achieve your goal. So this is all the amazing thing that creativity can do for young people. And creativity has other more things that are amazing with young people. So young people are more likely to have broadened views on society. So their views are not so much. I'm so sorry, I'm touching my head all the time. But their views are not so rigid, and they're actually more open. They can see different things, they can see different views, they have different kind of understanding of other people's views as well, and how that comes into any project that they are involved in. It helps young people, because of that, it helps young people overcome prejudice. And you'll find that young people have that kind of like I was saying before, they develop more empathy, more understanding for others, more understanding of other people's feelings. They try to view and they try to solve problems more openly. So they have this understanding that, okay, I need to understand this person's point of view, and how that actually works with my point of view. How does this work with what I'm trying to achieve, the goal I've got in my mind? And all of this, in the long run, what does it show? What do you think it gives young people? It makes them more resilient. So young people become so resilient because they have to understand the process. They have to go step by step. They have to take on so many views coming from different ways to achieve what it is that they want to do. And having this back and forth, having these back and forth with their own mind, back and forth with other people, what does it bring as well? It brings more confidence. And that confidence, how does it come? It comes when young people can advocate for themselves. Young people know what they want, and they know how to say, well, this is where I'm going, and this is how this is the path I'm gonna do. Or this is what this group is doing, and this is what I'm going to follow, or this is what I'm gonna take part in, and this is what I'm going to do in the long run. So there's so many things that can happen through creativity. So through creativity, young people reaffirm their views, their values, their principles. They become individuals in their own right. So before they even come to adulthood, before they even come to that path, can you imagine how creativity is actually I want to say a French word here, so but actually no. So basically, it kinds of like, this is how I feel. I feel like creativity is supposed young people in a way that they can say, this is me. It really supports them in saying, this is me, and this is how I choose to move in this world. Definitely. In addition to that, I already mentioned it, but I will mention it again. It supports and it helps their mental well-being. Because when you can release emotion, when you have a way of releasing emotion, when you have a way of talking your feelings into this world, I think you've already gained most of everything. Because what happens when we have a trauma, and trauma, and when I'm talking trauma, I'm talking trauma in all sense of the term. So it could be something really small, and it could be something really big. And we want to escape. What do? We can take creativity and escape and go into another world where we actually leaving those negative emotions there. So here's one example. Journaling. A lot of young people have journals. Like I used to have a journal when I was a young person in my teenagehood. And I used to love writing, but I had this kind of fear that someone was going to read all my secrets, or someone was going to find out what I really liked or what I didn't like. You see, if you are on a path where you are supporting your child, you're supporting your young people, what happens? They own it. They own their feelings. They have this empathy for themselves first, and then that helps them in the pursuit of their well-being. So now, I'm coming to you. As a parent, how can you help? I've got 4 examples here. Actually 5. I've got 5 examples here that I think could be really simple ways that you can try and introduce in your family routine, and this is going to help your young people actually develop even more this sense of creativity. So did I say 5? I think I'm going to add another one. So basically, when young people want to try something, if you can and where you can, find ways to support that. Because it's once they try things, that they will know what it is that they like and what it is that they are drawn to. So I know that sometimes finances come into this, and you can't really help your young person do everything they want to do. But think of other ways, like use your creativity and find other ways to support your young people with this. So let's say I'm giving you like a random example here. Let's say young people, your teenager wants to learn to golf, and you can't pay for golf lessons. Well, what can you do? Like nowadays, everything is on the internet. Right now, I'm on the internet showing you ways of helping your children, your young people develop more creativity. So you can go on the internet and start looking. You can practice indoors. You can create a small golf course in your own house. Like there's little ways like that. I'm not saying that's what you're going to do. Maybe that's not what your child likes. But what I'm saying is like using creativity to support your child and showing them that you are aware of what they're doing, you are aware of what they want to do, what they want to become, how they're using the creativity, and that you support it. So you support the dream. That's one way. Second way, trigger conversation. So trigger topics of conversation. And I know a lot of people are going to say to me, well, young people don't want to talk to me, they don't want to talk about this, they don't want to talk. But still talk, still do it. Because there will be a point when they will be actually glad that you triggered the conversation. And any conversation are good, are better than no conversation at all. Because what happens is that what is not being told, when you are talking, when you are in a communication, in a conversation that is not serious and it's just like free flowing and you're just listening, it gives them more again of a sense of value, of a sense of purpose. So this is really important. Here again, you can, in the same way, you can also support them by giving them time and space. So as much as you will create time for conversation, create time for them to have their own space and their own time where they are doing what they like doing. Find ways to show young people, to show teenagers that you actually support their dreams. So let me give you an example. I know often young people, especially nowadays, often you hear, I want to become an influencer, I want to become someone who is, I want to become someone who is on YouTube, a YouTube person, I don't know, VIP, I don't know the right connotation, I mean how you say, but someone who is on YouTube, basically. And you think, well, it's not because they've done it that you're going to do it. So already that's being negative. And then you think like influencers, what is that? That's not even a job. And I can go back to the 80s, the 90s, or even like the 70s, where when you told parents, I want to become a comedy person, or I want to become an actor or a singer, people will be like, parents used to be like, well, that's not a real job. You're never going to make anything of this. Well, that's being negative. It might be like you're thinking on a realistic point of view, and that's your point of view. But I would say, if you can dial it down a little bit, if that is your views, if you can dial it down a little bit and be like, well, if this is what you want to do, let's see how we can find ways to support you in that way. And it could be really simple ways. It can just be you listening to the song, or you listening to the monologue that they are practicing. It could just be you being there. So it could actually not just require you being there in presence, a physical presence, but it's being there and supporting young people. Then, what I was going to say is another way that you can help young people develop creativity is by exposing problems that arise in the family unit. So the more young people are actually part of what's happening in the family dynamic, and that they can give their own point of view, they can bounce back ideas with yourself, the more they are developing their creativity, and the more they are developing their assertiveness, and once again they're developing their confidence. Do you see where I'm going with this? It's just amazing. And another way, and that will be the last way, is that you can create a place for a project. So the project could be as simple as it is. It could be in your household, like, we're going to go on holiday in so time. Can you please take part in organizing it? Yes. Give young people tasks to do. Tell them, this is our project, this is the family project, and everybody's got tasks. Let's bring creativity. What do you think you could do? What do you think we should put in this project? If we were going on vacation, which kind of vacation? Where should we go? How will we find this? This could be even more adventurous for the whole family. Can you imagine that? It could be amazing, amazing holidays. Okay, it could also be the worst holiday, but I'm staying on the positive side here. It could be amazing. And then also in that same kind of thing is look at projects in your community. So last week I spoke about volunteering and how volunteering actually helps young people. You can look, there's so many ways that young people can go in the community and find projects to be in that will spark the creativity even further. And again, support them, supporting you, and supporting the whole community, supporting the society. This is what we are doing here. What I am doing here on Authentic Mindset is that I'm trying to find ways and to support parents into finding ways of being with young people that is going to help them become better adults. Not better adults for people, the society, or parents, but be better people for themselves, for what they will become later, for what they're going to be able to overcome, for what they will be able to achieve. And I'm really encouraging you today to try any of those ways, to when you watch these videos, and to actually go and make your people's life even better than it already is. So that was me for today. Thank you so much for listening to my talk. Thank you so much for being part of the group. If you like the group and you think that it can help other people, can you please share it so that we've got more people coming into the group? And don't forget to comment. You can comment anytime. I've set the I've set the comment moderation so that you can easily leave messages on this live in the comments. I'll be really happy to read anything And obviously, if there is anything you want me to talk about, even though I've got like a program of what I'm talking about, but if there's anything that you feel that would be great to discuss, to bring to the table, just contact me, leave me a message, and I'll get onto it. Thank you so much for being here today, and have a lovely day, a lovely week, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.